You know the big names, right? Ethereum, Solana. They're the heavyweight champs of the blockchain world. But what if a new fighter, one trained in secret by a tech giant, steps into the ring with a totally different fighting style? Well, that's what we're talking about today. We're diving deep into SUI.
So, yeah, that's really the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Can this upstart, this project literally born from the ashes of Facebook's big crypto dream, actually go head-to-head with the titans? We're going to find out if the hype is real.
All right, to really get this, we've got to rewind a bit and go back to the beginning. And let me tell you, SUI's origin story is not your average garage startup fairy tale. Nope. This thing was forged inside the labs of one of the biggest tech companies on the planet. SUI's DNA, it comes from a project you've probably heard of. Remember Diem? That was Meta's, Facebook's, super ambitious plan for a global digital currency. And yeah, Diem itself, it never actually saw the light of day. But the tech, and more importantly, the brilliant people behind it, they didn't just disappear. Instead, they went on to form Meiston Labs. And they came armed with some seriously groundbreaking technology and one clear mission: to build a totally new kind of blockchain. One that could finally solve the scaling problems that have been holding back the whole crypto space for years. And that right there, that brings us to the absolute core of what makes SUI so interesting. Look, this is not just another copy-paste Ethereum clone. We're talking about a completely new engine built from the ground up on a fundamentally different idea. Okay, so let me break it down. Most blockchains, like Ethereum, are kind of like a single-lane road. Every single car, every transaction has to wait in the same line, one after another. It's a traffic jam waiting to happen. SUI, on the other hand, is built like a massive multi-lane highway. Your transaction can just zip right past everyone else without getting stuck. So this whole object-centric idea, what it really does is unlock this super powerful feature called parallel execution. Basically, since most transactions aren't trying to mess with the same object at the same time, the network can process a whole bunch of them simultaneously. And that is the secret sauce. That's the key to SUI's insane speed and scale. And SUI gets even smarter about it. It kind of has two different paths. For simple stuff like just sending an asset to someone, it uses a fast path. It's confirmed almost instantly. But for more complex things like interacting with a DeFi protocol, it uses a super efficient consensus process. This means everything stays fast and secure without those classic blockchain bottlenecks.
Okay, so all this tech talk sounds great, right? But what does it actually mean in the real world? Let's put the theory aside and look at the hard numbers. Let's see how SUI actually stacks up against the king, Ethereum.
Whoa. Okay, look at these numbers. They're honestly mind-blowing. We are not talking about a little 10% improvement here. This is a complete game changer. I mean, just imagine it. A world where a blockchain transaction is just as fast and just as cheap as sending an email. That's the future SUI is promising.
And that fee difference, it might look small on the screen, but it's a huge deal. A really huge deal. Why? Because it suddenly makes all sorts of new applications possible. Things that were just way too expensive to even think about building on Ethereum. We're talking massive online games with thousands of items, or decentralized social media that doesn't cost you $1 every time you post. And that crazy high number for transactions per second, that's not just for bragging rights. It's about looking to the future. It's about building a Web3 that can actually handle billions of people using it all at once, without the terrible lag and crazy fees we've gotten used to. But here's the thing, and we all know this, having the best tech doesn't automatically mean you win, not by a long shot. A blockchain is just a ghost town without developers building cool stuff and people actually using it. So how's SUI doing in the ecosystem race? Is anyone showing up to the party?
Well, one of SUI's secret weapons is actually its programming language, called Move. The best way to think about it is like a language that has security guards built right in. It's specifically designed to prevent a lot of the common and very expensive hacks and bugs that have hit other blockchains. And for developers, that is a huge deal. It lets them build with way more confidence.
And it looks like it's working, because it's not just developers taking notice. Just look at the amount of money flowing into SUI's DeFi apps. It's absolutely skyrocketed. And you know what that means? It's a huge vote of confidence. It shows that real users are trusting the network with their money.
So it looks like SUI is really starting to find its groove, especially in areas where you absolutely need speed and low costs. Think gaming, think social media. Plus, they have this awesome feature called ZK Login.
It basically lets you log in with your Google or Twitch account. No complicated crypto wallet setup needed. That's how you get normal people, not just crypto natives, into Web3.
Okay, so SUI's got the cutting-edge tech, and it's definitely got momentum on its side. But let's be realistic. The road to the top is, well, it's long, and it's filled with some pretty massive challenges. So let's talk about the hurdles standing in its way.
First off, let's not kid ourselves. Ethereum is an absolute behemoth, a giant. It has a monumental head start, the largest army of developers in all of crypto, and brand recognition that's just off the charts. It's the default, the one everyone knows.
So for SUI to have a real shot, it has to tackle these hurdles head on. It has to convince developers to leave the comfort of Ethereum and build on something new. It has to survive the crazy ups and downs of the crypto market. And maybe toughest of all, it has to prove that it's a better choice than Ethereum plus all its Layer 2 scaling solutions, which are getting faster and cheaper all the time.
So that leaves us with the big question. Who's going to win this race to build the next version of the internet? Is it going to be the established giant, trying to upgrade its engine while the car is still running? Or will it be the new challenger who showed up with a radical new design built from scratch for this new era? Honestly, only time's going to tell. But one thing's for sure, watching this play out is going to be absolutely fascinating.